That's not the case with this guy. The more we find out about him, the more valuable he is. He's Tim Cowlishaw, Dallas Morning News columnist and star of ESPN's Around the Horn. If I talked to you yesterday,
yes,
what would you have said about what the Cowboys were going to do with Dak Prescott?
I gave it in the morning a 10% chance they would do anything other than just franchise him today. So I was off by 90%, I suppose, on where this thing was headed. But I talked to a couple people who cover the team on a daily basis, and they were a little higher than that. They were 15 to 20. So there wasn't a lot of thought this was going to get done.
Was yesterday a good day for the Cowboys?
That should be an easier question to answer. Yes, I'm going to say yes. But it's not a great day for the Cowboys. It's a great day for number 4.
Yes.
It's a real good day for him. I just think there's realistic concerns. These numbers are real. The teams are not winning or going to Super Bowls with quarterbacks making 35 to 40 million. I mean, Tom Brady wins most of them. But even if you took out the ones he's won recently, the quarterbacks that would have won the game would have been Goff in his first contract or Mahomes again. And so it's the guys, it just gets really hard to build a roster. It's not impossible, but it's tough. They have a green light for this year. They have a $22 million salary cap figure for Dak this year. That's good. That's going to go up quickly, and then in 3-4 years they're back at it again with it. So this is kind of a 1-year window. Okay, do something in 2021.
My question is not about Dak as much as it is that defense. Unless their philosophy is we're just going to outscore people, because that defense has been an embarrassment.
I think the philosophy will be in between those two. I think they're hoping Dan Quinn, by coming here, brings the Seattle defense from 7 years ago with him, not the crappy defense he had in Atlanta as a head coach most of the time. But that's a coaching change. They need personnel. They need pass rushers. They're going to have to draft corners. They know that. So again, they're kind of doing what they did after Dak and Zeke's rookie year when they went 13-3 and they rebuilt the secondary. They got rid of Brandon Carr and all the veterans and said, we're going to draft Awuzie and Jordan Lewis and these guys. And so you're counting on that. The defense has to help. You can't win. You can't just sit here and say, we're going to score 33 points a game. That's not realistic.
I was also wondering about this. Dak is coming off a broken ankle.
Yes. People don't like to talk about that.
No, but I do. I watched the video, Tim. It's real.
It is.
He didn't get hurt at the bargaining table with a broken ankle, coming back from a broken ankle.
No. And that's shocking to me. And I've written about that a number of times. You try to put it in a nice way as possible, but realistically, this guy was 5 rushing touchdowns a year. He was a threat to run. He's more like you mentioned Deshaun Watson a minute ago. He's more like that as a runner. He's not Kyler Murray or Lamar, but he was a threat. And he also, because he's big, he would try to run over defensive backs a little bit. And now, having experienced what he did with Logan Ryan, is he going to back off from that? Is he not? Is he strictly a guy who's in the pocket? And how does that change his value to the team? Nobody has that answer.
I also wondered about this. You've written about this, but if Jerry had signed Dak Prescott 2 years ago, he would have gotten a bargain, I think. But then would they be in a similar situation in a year where Dak would be signing up for even more money with this new TV deal, and that he would be ready to go, back on the market?
Well, yeah, if they'd have signed him 2 years ago, I think the extension would have lasted as long as this one does. They would have redone the last year of his rookie deal and stuff. So at some point, yeah, he's going to be, if he's a successful quarterback, he's still going to have some prime years left, clearly, when this contract runs out. So they've got 4 years. They got 4 more years of him, and they got to do something. At that point, That's 9 years. That's 9 years for Zeke. That's a lifetime for a running back. So they've got to, you were just talking about quarterbacks. The other starters in their division are Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts, and I guess Taylor Heineke at the moment. I mean, Dak is beyond head and shoulders above that group. They got to make that count. They got to do something with that. Yeah. They can't keep wasting these years.
Are the Cowboys in a Super Bowl over the next 4 years?
No. I'll say they're going to end their NFC Championship drought, 25 years without one. They'll get to that in the next 4 years, but if I'm sitting here making a prediction today, there's a lot that has to go right with this team and this coaching staff and this head coach to get to a Super Bowl. They're in better position by being in the NFC looking ahead than the AFC. Almost all the good young quarterbacks other than Kyler Murray are in the AFC. And that's where it's going to be a dogfight to get past Mahomes and everybody for years. They're in a little better fit there, but there's still too many good teams. Green Bay's got years left. Lord knows Tampa Bay's got years left with their quarterback. So they have a chance, but I would predict no.
Is Dak Prescott a great quarterback?
He's a really good quarterback. I would say no. I'd say he can be, but I would say also year 6, is he likely to suddenly get better? I don't think so. But what we saw the first 5 weeks last year, surrounded by really good talent, he could lead the league in passing yards and win bigger playoff games than he has. But you don't look at him like you did Aaron Rodgers 10 years ago and say, or Russell Wilson after 4 years and say, this guy's great. You say, this guy's good. You got to keep him. You got to put people around him, and let's see what happens. He hasn't proven greatness yet.
If you could get rid of one contract on the Cowboys right now, which one would you get rid of?
I would get rid of Jalen Smith's, and although that's not that bad a contract, I think he counts $10 million this year. They're okay right now. I think they've always 3 of their top 5 contracts are offensive linemen. The top 6 contracts are offensive linemen, and that's hard to do to put that much money there and not put any in the defense. And here I am taking a defensive contract away. I just think linebacker being the position it is, that's the one I would probably remove. I don't think they have any terrible deals. I wouldn't take away DeMarcus Lawrence just because his sack totals are down. I think he's still an important player. But they have got to have a great draft, which they're pretty good at. And they've got to somehow make this defense middle of the road.
Do you feel bad that we won't be talking again for a few years?
Well, we have Luka, Danny.
What's there to talk about?
He's pretty good. That's another team that needs to build around a guy who's pretty good, except he's more than pretty good. It is a little sad. Writing at least one Dak contract column a month has been kind of a toss-up for 2 years. Because it's always gone these different directions. And like you said, the Cowboys could have done themselves a big favor. And I still think of Stephen Jones saying 2 years ago, we're not going to set the market. Great plan. We'll just have the market run over us. We'll just have it steamroll us. And we're going to give a guy $40 million. And now people are mad here because he got too much money.
Yeah. Were you secretly rooting for Russell Wilson to come to the Cowboys?
I didn't spend more than, despite your intrepid reporting, which got this whole thing started, I didn't really spend more than 5 minutes on that. I think Seattle would be insane to trade him. It would have been different, but no, I didn't really punt that as much as I could have.
Yeah, that's good. That's smart on your part. Tim, thanks for joining us as always, and we'll look forward to your next appearance on Around the Horn.
That's today. Today's Dak Day.
Oh,
So if I can't win today,
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, what am I doing here?
Wow. You're right about that. Well, we'll be rooting for you, Tim, as always.
What's a good FaceTime, I wonder? I haven't even thought of that. My gosh.
Oh, you're already thinking about winning?
Not usually at 8:30 in the morning, no.
Thank you, Tim. Tim Cowlishaw, he's calling his shot. And you know Tony Reale is watching right now going, oh, Cowlishaw calling his shot on the Dan Patrick Show earlier. Boop, 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 boop.